Hi, I'm Ash, and this is Jumping to Conclusions, a series where I pick a game I've never played before, play the first level, and guess what happens next. I then play the last level to see if my prediction was right, and decide if it's something I'd actually want to play. Today, I'm going to play the first and last level of Goldeneye. Goldeneye 007 is a 1997 first-person shooter for the Nintendo 64. You're probably thinking that everyone knows Goldeneye because it was a huge game based on a huge movie which is part of a huge franchise. And you're not wrong, it's just that I've been living under a rock when it comes to James Bond. But Goldeneye was actually pretty monumental as a game. It was hailed for being the most realistic feeling first-person shooter. This was realistic 23 years ago, okay? It's regarded as one of the greatest video games of all time, even winning a BAFTA. So I'm going to keep it really simple and play just the first and the last level. I'm sure I wouldn't miss much. Listen to the intensity of level 1. This game starts at 100. This is probably what James Bond hears in his head all the time. I feel rather under-equipped for the situation at hand. I have a gun and apparently no armour. But it's okay, I'm James Bond. I can kill people with a shoe. Oh, you can pick up other people's guns. Just like real life. So I'm in some sort of Soviet compound and I need to help a truck get through some doors by destroying some alarms. So said the file at the start of the level. The game hasn't told me why I'm doing either of these things. I don't know if that's a spy thing. You just have no motive. You just do what they tell you. So by neutralise all alarms, they meant shoot at them. And when you shoot them, they open doors and gates and stuff. Who designed a gate system which has an alarm as a switch and bullets are the key? So my second objective was to jump off the platform. But to what? I mean, there's nothing there. I'm just taking orders, but they directly conflict with staying alive. If you're afraid of heights, look away now. Okay, so he had no bungee cord, there was no parachute, there was no plane to pick him up. So I have to assume that James Bond is dead. This game was famed for its realism, you know? They went there. So my prediction for the final level is that it's James Bond's funeral. I play his ghost and I have to make sure that Moneypenny has tissues and that Q gets a sandwich, that M reads the eulogy okay. The final action is to release pigeons, which are the national bird of Britain, whilst they lower my coffin, which is actually empty because there's no way I would have a body after that fall. Okay, let's see if I'm right. Okay, my objectives are to destroy the control console and settle the score with Trevelyan. No idea who Trevelyan is, but if I am a ghost, he is definitely getting haunted. Right, so I'm still in the sky. Did I ever return to Earth? I mean, so far my theory is not wildly off. For all I know, I fell and then landed here. Maybe I'm in heaven. It turns out heaven has got some stuff that they need a spy to deal with. I don't know. It feels more active than the dam I was at before. I mean, like, obviously you would have higher security on your sky layer. Trevelyan is such a wuss. Look at him run. Finish the job, James, if you can. This guy's having the time of his life. That was a smooth slide down those ladders. I'm just gonna jump in. Oh, well, there's nowhere for him to run. For England, James? No, for me. I am a psychopath. This might be Trevelyan's helicopter? Who knows? Who is Natalia? And where did that chopper drop me off? This isn't England. Alright, it's time to find out what really happened. Goldeneye 007 starts in the Soviet Union, where MI6 has uncovered a secret chemical weapons facility. So when he jumped off that dam, he had a secret bungee cord invisible to the naked eye so that he could access the secret lair. Wow. Bond and Agent Trevelyan, oh, that was our guy from before, are sent to infiltrate the facility and plant explosive charges. Trevelyan is shot by Colonel Arkady Urumov, while Bond escapes by commandeering an airplane. 5 years later, in 1991, Bond investigates the launch of a satellite known as Goldeneye. The remainder of the game takes place in 1995. Bond is then sent a second time to sever Maya, but during the mission he is captured and locked up in the bunker cells along with Natalia Semenova. So they met each other whilst in captivity. Love's young dream. They both escape the complex seconds before it is destroyed. Bond next travels to St. Petersburg to meet the chief of the Janus organization. This is revealed to be Alec Trevelyan. His execution by Urumov was in fact faked. Bond and Natalia are taken to the military archives for interrogation. Bond eventually manages to escape the interrogation room. Bond kills Urumov and rescues Natalia. Natalia accompanies Bond to the Caribbean. Bond sneaks Natalia into the control center to disrupt transmissions to the Goldeneye satellite and force it to burn up in the Earth's atmosphere. He then follows the fleeing Trevelyan through a series of flooded caverns, eventually arriving at the antenna of the control center's radio telescope. So that bit that I was on was in fact the antenna of the telescope? The radio telescope. Trevelyan attempts to realign it in a final attempt to restore contact with the Goldeneye, but Bond ultimately destroys machinery vital to controlling the antenna and defeats Trevelyan in a gunfight on a platform above the dish. So if I were to rate my prediction on a scale of 0 to 10, I would give myself a 0. I totally didn't get where the location would be at the end, what happened when he jumped off the dam. I didn't even get how he met Natalia. Yeah, none of it. So now I need to decide if Goldeneye was quite fun or was pretty rubbish. It was an intense game. Wasn't predictable, clearly. I think I'd probably like to play what happened in between. So I'm gonna say it was worth the play. Good game.